To be honest, I have not prepared anything for today with the idea that we will look at more charts. Okay, because in my opinion, we haven't done many charts as far as the English group is concerned. However, the Telugu group has been there for quite long now, about two. At least they are these Telugu guys are seniors to this group by about a year or so. I would rather request you guys. You can come up with charts wherein currently whatever you have learned, you try to apply it. Is there a challenge doing it, etc. Instead of just bluntly asking, look, this is the horoscope, what do you predict? My intention is, if you don't try to predict, okay, you can never learn. Be ready to do a mistake, be ready to be corrected. Okay, it is okay to stand corrected rather than not trying at all to predict. Okay, so I'm open. Anybody has any question either on the D10, the D9, the Nakshatras, where you're applying on charts and you're finding it any difficult?
So one question I wanted to ask in relation to D9 and marriage timing was uh, in the D1 chart, the ninth house planet and the ninth house lord also qualify as the planet that can bring marriage, right? So in some charts that I looked at, um, there is no planet in the Rasi chart, but in D1, but when I do a bhava chalit chart, there is a planet in ninth, and the marriage happened actually in Antardasha of that planet. So is that a valid way, like to look at bhava chalit of D1 when you're looking at the ninth house planet?
Yeah, that's a good question. So yes, Bhava Chalita chart is what we should take to qualify the moon. Okay, please use the Bhava Chalita when we are taking the Vimshotri variations. That is when it is working much better. A good observation.
Got it. Got it.
Mm.
Thank you.
So what this man meant was, so if I can pull up a chart, okay, can be any chart. So we are using the Vimshotri Dasha variations. When we use the Vimshotri Dasha variations, please use, instead of the Rashi chart, use the Bhava Chalita, right? So ensure that the moon does not move. If the moon moves, then also change the kind of option. Okay. Then also sometimes I cannot say for sure the Bhava Chalita moon is working or for sure the Rashi chart is working. Either of these two will work. Why I'm saying that is, a situation may come in where the qualification is impossible. Okay, with the kind of moon placement, the dasha will come like some unconnected dasha. Nowhere it's not related to second house, sixth house, eighth house. It's not connected to any of them. It just connects to the third house or something like that, right? Third house, ninth house, which are irrelevant. Okay, marriage cannot happen if the dasha is unqualified. You cannot get going like that. So before you change the Navamsha Lagna, try to ensure that you have checked the Bhava Chalita moon as well, and then try to pick whether it is the Utpanatara or the Kshematara or the Adhanatara variation. The only way you can master this, or the only way you can understand this further, is not from me. The more that the number of charts that you put into practice, the better will be your understanding.
Another question. I was listening to the video on skills and talents based on the trine planets in the D9 chart. Um, I looked at I listened to Mars and Venus separately, but if there are some combinations of Venus or Mars, some specific combinations you highlighted in the video, but like I was just interested in a Venus Mars combination because I saw that in a couple of charts in my immediate family members in the trines from Lagna of D9.
I want to touch upon Mars, Mercury. I want to touch upon Mercury, Venus, Sun and Moon, Sun and Saturn. These are some specific combinations that you will find in the Navamsha chart. Okay, interestingly, they will give some or the other understanding. See, Venus and Mars, based on Sanjay Rath's tradition, even the Visti Larsen uses this. That Venus and Mars, when they are together, it's like a Gandanta yoga, right? So because Venus and Mars, it's the what do you call that? Venus is the feminine and Mars is the masculine. So when they get together, it's like the Gandanta thing where the Mercury is born. The Venus and the Mars get together, the Mercury is born. Okay, so this can bring in intelligence. This can also bring in bad company, right? So based on where this combination is happening, to my best knowledge, what I have understood from these people is, and it also has fairly worked for me, is if these two planets, the Venus and the Mars, if they are together in the Navamsha chart, in the even signs, it makes the person, how do I describe this? It makes the person highly mannered, okay, or highly cultured, or overly thinking about the thing. Let's suppose, may I sit here? Right? You go to a place, and he's very afraid of doing things. On the flip side, on the other side, he's highly cultured, highly mannered. Any combination for that matter. If somebody tells you, this combination is good, this combination is bad, this is all crap stuff. Doesn't work like that. Every combination will have both the good effects and the bad effects simultaneously working. At some places, a particular combination is good. The same combination is bad for a few things. Never be carried away by people saying, look, this is a good combination, this is a bad combination. That thing is very, very poor way of looking at a chart. Okay, if somebody tells you Mars and Venus are together, it's a Gandanta yoga. Yes, there are challenges in life. The person is trying to beat all the challenges and trying to make his way up the ladder, right? And it can also show that the person is highly mannered. If it's in the odd signs from the Navamsha Lagna, it can show the person doesn't have very good manners. Okay, it doesn't mean that he is going to behave badly with women or any. I mean, don't make a villain and a hero thing here. Okay, this is not a movie. So when it's in the even or the odd signs, as I said, poorly cultured in the sense he can adjust in any kind of an environment easily. Okay. So do not make a binary level understanding of this is the good stuff and this is the bad stuff. It doesn't happen like that. Okay. On the sun moon combination, it's called as the Amavasya yoga, wherein the chances are there are a couple of things that can happen. I've heard this from many people. What I have understood is there is no good relation. There is no good relation between the parents. I mean, who chart it is, the parents of this native are either quarreling often. It doesn't show that there is a divorce between the parents, but they may have difference in opinions for many things. Okay, or often they are having arguments, right? Or one side of the family, extended family, like your father would have his siblings, your mother would have her siblings. One of the side of the family is not in touch with the native. This could be due to different reasons. They have fights between each other, or the native is staying very, very far off from, usually in the Indian families, what used to happen, all the brothers used to live together. One brother gets married maybe 1,000 kilometers apart. Then he moves off due to a job or something, and he loses touch with most of the family. They would call up, right? Today phones exist, so it is actually more easier for people to still be in touch. But assume it is about during the 80s or in the mid 70s. During the time, if the person travels from India to the US or somewhere, hardly people make calls very often. Today you have all the means, so one side of the family may be cut off for different reasons, right? So or the father and the mother are often having difference in opinions. Does not mean there is a divorce. However, if the D1 chart shows huge thing on the Dhanishta, Purvashadha, okay, if the person's Lagna falls in Purvashadha, his Lagna Lord's dispositor falls in Dhanishta, and then you have a Navamsha combination of a sun and the moon, and then you may say, yes, there could be a possible divorce, right? What else I was saying? Mars, okay, Mercury is, Mars is the masculine. Mars want to show courage, right? Mercury rules the third house. Mars is the Karka for the third house. Both are actually courageous people, but both would show different traits as far as the third house is concerned. Mercury deals with things using intelligence, because Mercury is a eunuch or a transgender, doesn't believe in using power to deal with things. He believes, what is that? Chal kapat ko kya bolte hain in English, right? I suddenly forget words. So, tricking people. That is what Mercury believes in. Mars believes in fighting, coming to the forefront and fighting, right? So Mercury Mars combination can make people who are sexually having different orientation of the sexual orientation, right? The same sex marriages, interest in same sexuality, provided these are connected either to the first house or the seventh house, right? And what else can we think of? Sun and Saturn combination. Sun Saturn combination is also another important one, wherein either the father or especially in a girl's chart, if this happens in a girl's chart, either the father or the husband has some career issues, right? Or if it's a boy's chart, either the father has some career issues, or he has bad relationships with his in-laws. Okay, these are those couple of things that I can think of, because Saturn rules the 10th house. Sun gets directional strength there, and both are working in a very different way. So there is a career problem either to the father or the native, or there is an issue with the in-laws, because it also rules the second house from the 9th house. I mean, these are easy to decode. There's nothing very great about it. A lot of people think it's a very difficult thing, but if you just apply basic rules and try to analyze it from there, these are a lot easier. You can make 100 number of rules like this, but my concern or this thing will always be is, unless this influences the Navamsha, either in the Rashi Tulya Navamsha or in the Navamsha, okay, the more the influence is, higher is the magnitude of the result. You cannot have just the Saturn and the Sun combination and forget Lagna, use nothing and behave like kids. and roll over the floor and say, look, I have Sun Saturn combination. I don't have any issues with any of them. Yes, you do not have, because it is not influencing your lagna. It means that it doesn't belong to you. The result is not yours. You're looking at somebody else's result. However, they are connected to you, right? You have to see what house does it represent from the Rashi Tulya Navamsha, and from there you will have a basic idea. And if it influences both from the Navamsha Lagna and also the Rashi Tulya Navamsha Lagna, if both of them are influenced, that is when the higher magnitude of the result is going to come. Okay.
A small follow-up, like you said, every combination has it brings some positives and negatives, or it can operate in both ways. So,
Yeah.
in relation to that, like the D30 chart in your videos, you said like most of the discussion is applicable both to D9 and D30. So, can we think of D30 as how a particular combination or a planet operates in a negative way for that native? Is
No, D30 is not just the negative way, because D30 will show Arishtas as per Parashara. Parashara Maharshi simply said, these will show Arishta yogas. It can also mean this can have Rishta yogas. That means that can be beneficial. Okay, there was a
okay.
podcast recently by VP Goyal sir. He just explained the same thing in his video as well. He was talking about the fourth house. He said, look, we call the fourth house as the Sukhasthana, but fourth house is also the Dukkhasthana. That means comfort or discomfort will come from the fourth house. What a lot of people are thinking is, oh, fourth house is the Sukhasthana, so you have only Sukha from there. No, it's not like that. Fourth house can also represent the Dukkhasthana, right? Comfort and discomfort. Both will come from the fourth house.
Got it.
Yeah. As I said, I've not prepared anything. I haven't had a chance this whole week to prepare or make any notes, because unless there is some running matter visible, because otherwise there would be no boundaries for me. I keep talking without the boundaries, which I do not want to do. Rather than restrict myself and say it in a more structured manner. So you guys come up with questions like this man did. You guys come up with questions. I'm happy to answer whatever I know. I would honestly try to answer those. Yes, sir.
So it's so some of the higher divisional charts, like for example D30 that we just discussed, I'm noticing Rahu and Ketu are conjoined.
Yeah, they're
What does that
together.
mean?
It does mean that only one planet is active. Rahu is what we will use there.
Okay.
Mm.
So it's not like in matters related to that house we are completely indifferent, or there is not found any such things
No,
in your.
not like that.
Okay.
That's not how divisional charts are just judged. You have to have different rules for different divisional charts. First thing is we need to know what the purpose of the chart is. Like the D9 chart, the purpose of the chart is, one is marriage, the other one is all the future. All the future will be there in the D9, right? All the results can be deciphered from the D9. That is why it is the most important chart, right? So how usually we do is, let's suppose you're doing a job, right? What do you get? You get salary at the end of the day. You try to invest your money somewhere with the salary that you're making. So are you able to invest that money, is what you can see from the D9? Or are you just getting hand to mouth situation, not enough to invest? Or are you having losses, right? What does your future has in store for you? That can be overall, that can be judged from the D9. We haven't covered that as yet. Please don't jump. So that will come. And as that comes, when we complete all the padas of the nakshatras, which I would want to start maybe the next week or the other next week. But before we start that, my intention is you guys should have a clear understanding of right now, with whatever information is available, that is more than enough for you to judge how the horoscope is behaving. If you have issues in predicting those using the nakshatras and the D9 and the D10, my request is bring up the chart. If you want, the details would be hidden after the video is done. If you do not want to display the birth details, that will be faded out. They are also not read out, or that part of the video will be cut off, and we will only show the charts. Okay, if you're comfortable. Otherwise, we can pick charts from the Quora or Open, so where from there we can pick the charts up. Somebody has a question. Ma'am, you have a question? Seema.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
This is my first class,
Okay.
and it may be a very off the topic kind of a question, but I heard uh, Sir Rao in one of his lectures, he said that every planet behaves as a creator, a sustainer, and a destroyer. And he did explain the entire sentence. But I wanted to understand, sir, if I may please ask that how does it work with regards to the houses? Let's say if it is the 12th house. So it is the house of Vyaya. So as such, it is a house of Vyaya. So what is the kind of destruction that could happen over there apart from the Vyaya?
First thing is I don't use houses. Okay.
Sir.
I don't use houses at all in the D1 chart because they are too many confusing. And as you said right now, the 12th house is a Vyaya. How can that work? This work? I'd still answer your question with the knowledge that I have about the houses. However, I'm using very simple technique of the nakshatras. I'm looking at the cusp of that particular house. Let's suppose if I want to judge the 7th house, I would take which nakshatra the 7th house is falling. Okay. I look at that nakshatra cusp. So let us suppose you have your first house in a particular Rashi, right? Let's take Cancer. Which Rashi would you want me to take? The first house. Give me an example.
So you can take any.
Okay. So if you're comfortable, I'll take Cancer.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So you take Cancer. Let's suppose your lagna is there at assuming 6 degree, right? 6 degree. Okay, you can take this example. Why look at something else? Let's look at this chart, right? The lagna is in the Purva Phalguni, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the 7th house. The 7th house stands in the Aquarius, right? We find out which nakshatra is it falling in, right? It falls in the Satabisha. Am I right? Or am I wrong? No, it is wrong. That falls in the Purva Bhadra. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Purva Bhadra. So we understand what are the traits of Purva Bhadra, right? And then we will understand the lord of this is Saturn, right? The lord of this is Saturn. Saturn is in the 12th house. I pick the lord of this house.
Okay.
Okay, and then use his nakshatra. The lord of this house it's Meena or the Pisces. It's there in the Ardra. So if I have to judge about the wife of this person or the 7th house of this person, 7th house dealings, all that we need to know, the business, a little bit of the job, because it's the 7th, it's the 10th from the 10th. So it can also show a little bit about the job. Okay. And then also the wife, the partner, the business partners, everything. That will come from the Purva Bhadra and the Ardra. Okay. I have given a clear description of how these people will be if these things fall there. It's very clear and they all will match. Okay.
Yes.
If they're not matching, it means that the lagna is not correct. Maybe now you see it's in the Purva Phalguni. You move the lagna here and there. by 5 minutes, everything will change. The nakshatra at least in one house, every 5 minutes, one nakshatra will change. Every 5 minutes, up or down, right? Based on that, you can correct the chart.
Okay.
And then coming back to your question of the Vyaya Bhava, okay, I like this Bhava very, very much, the 12th house. See, what does Vyaya mean? The Vyaya means the expense, right? Vyaya means the expense. When can you spend something? When you have it, right? If a rickshawala comes up and says, or a cab driver comes up and says, look, I have spent 1 million rupees. Would you believe? You cannot, because the first impression would tell you that, look, how can he spend 1 million? He wouldn't have it. Nor he cannot take such a huge loan, right? So if you have a very good vyaya, it will first create a position wherein you can make that vyaya. Okay.
Yes.
And then it will make you spend it, take the bhoga, right? That is the sustenance. And then destruction, right? That is what it would typically mean. But I'm not using those things. They'll be very, very confusing. Sometimes the planet in the 12th house will give you a good result. Sometimes it would give you a bad result. You do not know why the good result is coming or why the bad result is coming. The simpler way is look at the nakshatra and then have a clear understanding of what is happening around there. And using the divisional charts, time using the D10, time it using the D9. Although D9, the overall success or the particular dasha's success, I haven't still taught. It is a little underway. So we will learn eventually about each pada, and then you will understand what are all those things, the significations that can follow.
Very well, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hi, sir.
Yes. Hi.
Sir, like planets have enmity and friendship, and we see Shastashtaka, Dvidvadasha. Is there any such things in nakshatras even? Like some nakshatras are kind of enmity due to their characteristics.
Yeah, we will cover it on the third level of the nakshatras. For now, we'll cover, starting the next week, we will cover the padas of the nakshatras. Later on, we will talk about these things, like which nakshatra can oppose the other nakshatra. I'll give you a simple heads up. Look at the story, right? I'm muting you, there is some disturbance from your place. I'm muting you. Okay. Look at the story, okay, and try to make out what can oppose this. Okay. Based on the stories, you'll understand.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
In this chart, like seventh house, like you were taking the example, Purva Bhadra and Ardra. So, like one of the significations, if both are Rudra Nakshatras, one of the significations is that like if married life is good, everything is good. Otherwise,
Correct.
things are like haywards. One
Correct.
of it, right?
Correct.
So like when we are predicting, how to know like if it is going to be good?
That's why you have the divisional charts. That's why you have the lagna chart. That's why you have the lagna nakshatra, right? How will a married life be good? I mean, I have told you this many times. When is the married life good? You ask any person in this world who is having a good married life. What is you're married?
No, sir.
Okay, so you will not know. Ustad is as an answer. What is that?
So when both the people compromise.
Exactly. So you have to see whether the person can compromise or not, right? So you will see from the lagna cusp, and then lagna lord dispositor. Will this person be in a position to compromise, right? Or he is using all the rudras again. Okay, that is one way. Second is you can look at the Navamsha chart. That is when you will know whether this marriage is going to be stable or not. Very simple. Teja?
Yes, sir. So like the one of one of the thing what is like first and seventh lords of D1, like if they are in like good, relatively good position, then they are like compatibility match and happy marriage. Is that what you meant, sir? Like when looking at Navamsa here?
No, okay, there can be okay, let's suppose the couple are compatible, and still the boy listens to the mother too much. And if the mother says, look, divorce this girl, I didn't like her. There are so many cases the boy divorced the girl because the mother didn't like her. Do you agree?
Yes, sir. That will be a problem.
So how do you judge?
Fourth house or like entire divisional D9?
Did we not talk about the dashas as yet?
We did, sir. So like that dasha, like ongoing dasha.
Yeah, dasha is the king.
Yes. Yes.
I told you, right? Dasha is the king. And
Yes.
we make use of the dasha. We first judge the chart using the Rashi Tulya Navamsha. The Lagna Lord being in, I gave you all the very clear rules. With those rules, it will 100% match. I've given check, cross check, and double check. All three will match. They all will fall in place. Only then the divorce will come.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So where is the confusion?
No confusion. No, I'm just like trying to
okay,
pick
you're
up the
trying to put,
direction
yeah,
there.
you're trying to place all of them in the order, right? So
Yes, sir.
you start with, that's why I'm saying you start with D1. You look at the D1 chart. Does the D1 show any signs of difficulty in marriage, either from the nakshatras, or the only condition I said is the first lord being in the second house? Okay, or the seventh and the sixth lords are very, very close conjunction. That will be seen in the Navamsha as well. If you move to the Navamsha and look at the Rashi Tulya Navamsha, if the D1's seventh and sixth lords are in the same house, okay, even in the Navamsha, there is a big challenge, right?
Yes, sir.
Let me repeat my sentence. Some people did not get it. I'll repeat the sentence. Now, look at this chart where there is a, this is the Leo Lagna, right? So the sixth lord and the seventh lord are the same. Otherwise, if they are different, let us suppose, let's take some other time, or let me take some other time. Right now, you see the sixth lord is Jupiter, the seventh lord is Mars. If they are exactly on the same degrees here, the same Rashi, even in the D1, right? Or they may be 1 degree apart. So they're very closely conjunct. This can mean there is a divorce. There is something that is not going very right for the person. Then you look at it back in the D9 chart. Does this really show a divorce, or does this show a sickly spouse? The spouse can be sickly. That means the spouse is not keeping good health. Even that can be seen as the seventh and the sixth lords very closely conjunct. There's something not very wrong about there's something very wrong about the marriage. So the person doesn't have the purpose of the marriage, right? Or the wife is working in the US and the native is working in the Japan. They can't meet each other, right? There is something that is putting them apart. Okay.
Or the wife is working in a hospital.
Possible, depending on what those planets are, etc. I don't want to speculate those things, because the problem with that is the speculation never ends. It keeps on and on with the houses. That's why I don't use much of the houses thing in the D1. It will eat away a lot of time, and even then you wouldn't be able to master them. You learn 10 rules, you learn the new 10 rules, you'll forget the previous 10 rules. That is the challenge with the D1 rules.
Today I learned like online that if the Atmakaraka in D1, sorry, like Atmakaraka of the person in the D9, whichever sign it is placed, that sign will become the future spouse's.
What is the Karakamsha Lagna?
Spouse's birth sign or ascendant sign or something like that.
Come on, don't be crazy, okay? This is all crazy crap. Don't read that stuff.
Okay.
You can straight away debunk it. I mean, there's no content in it. If it was so easy, come on. I mean, don't be crazy. Sorry for the word. Okay.
It's okay, sir. So one more question, sir. Like when we do horoscope matching, this I'm not clear, but this is something I heard or like read somewhere previously. Until certain age, like people match it at like D1 to D1 of the boy and girl, and after a certain age, they match D9 majorly more than the D1. I just want to know your comment, and if it is not correct, like what is the do you have any prescribed way of it?
What do you think my answer would be on this?
Like it's all depending on like nakshatras and the
No, I don't match horoscopes.
Okay.
I will only check whether individually do they have divorce or not. That's it. And get them married. If they don't have a problem in the divorce, get them married. I also told in the previous classes, I think a couple of classes ago, that we need to, on the nakshatras part, I have told that we need to educate people, the people who are going to get married. Look, this is where your seventh house is, seventh cusp is, seventh lord's dispositor is. If the seventh lord's dispositor falls in the aslesha, we tell the native that, look, your mother-in-law is going to be a little harsh on you. You have to adjust about it, right? If your seventh cusp falls in, I don't know, you have to use those simple things. Okay, I gave a huge list of the things, right? Or in the aslesha, you can have a huge responsibility to serve. A lot of people at home, you have to cook and then go to the office. So there is a huge responsibility. And if there is one job failed, the people will talk about the job that is not done, but they wouldn't appreciate all that the lady has done. Right? I mean, you can talk about it hours together. So we always give them a heads up. Look, this is where the problems will come. And I am very sure whoever are happily married will have some or the other issue with the partner. One or the other thing, they will always, I mean, to find a mistake from the other person, it is very easy, right? You will always have such things. I mean, if you ask me or anyone, how do you rate the other person? It is very easy to pick up, this is the place, this guy is faulty, this guy is not right. It's very easy to say. Okay, did you follow what I say?
Yes, sir.
So I mean, I'm okay even if you didn't understand. I'll repeat. So what we are going to coach them is, we are going to tell them these are the areas you have to be careful about, and these are the positives of the whole situation. The positives of the aslesha also, you can tell them that, look, the family is joint. They have values to give it to generations. Your kids will be properly addressed by the grandparents. They will coach them well. All that stuff. There is positive side as well, right? You can't say there is only negative side to it. Because the moment I say something, right, people are jumping over it. They're not applying brains. They're only trying to look at as a spoon feeding, which is bad. Please don't take it as a spoon feeding. Use your brains. We are the only species who has got brains. Teja, you're done with your question?
Yes, sir. I'm done. Thank you so much.
So, what is the topic for today's lecture? I joined late.
I haven't got any topic today prepared, so I said you guys come up and ask me questions, so that okay. And if you are looking at horoscopes and you are looking at D9, you're looking at D10, you're using the nakshatras of the D1, and if you think you have challenges while you look at them and not able to figure out why the result has come, or why is it working this way, or something on that sort, if you have any, I would love to see them.
Sir,
Yeah, Shruti.
for those who are unmarried, people get a lot of proposals. What is the best or easy way to choose? Like your suggestions?
I said, right? Look, first thing is, if you're an unmarried man and if it's your chart, look at your chart for any divorce yogas. Are there any yogas for having a bad marriage? Try to address them first.
Okay.
Try to address them first, and then get into looking. I mean, then get into searching. Does that answer your question? So is your question different?
No, same question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question is answered.
I have to check. I have to check mine. If it is, if it's not there, that yoga, then in the proposal charts, there may be many proposals which doesn't have divorce yoga. So in that, uh, which I can choose the best one, like
So you
which can be
also
the best.
okay. You also know what your seventh cusp is and what the seventh dispositor is doing, right?
Right.
So your seventh dispositor again, and come back to the Aslesha. If your seventh dispositor is in Aslesha, the girl is working in a bank. You will choose her, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So she is more in tune with what your horoscope is saying. You get me?
Mm-hmm. Right. I got it.
Yeah. Okay. Shruti has a question. Shruti, raise the hand first. I'll come back to you, Taja.
Yes, sir. I have a question and also a chart to see. I'm asking about the chart because I don't have Windows in my computer, and because that I cannot download Jehora software.
Why not buy a laptop that has Windows? Okay.
I'm planning to, but I'm not able to right now.
Okay,
In
good.
some time I will be.
Okay.
My question is, so I think like 2 lectures ago you mentioned that even not formalizing a marriage also is considered a marriage as long as they have lived together.
Yeah.
So when we get some charts, sometimes they are not telling like they've had some previous relationship or lived together or anything. Then how do we even know where to see whether to see seventh or second?
First thing is you look at the chart from the D1. Okay, you use the nakshatras. You will know you will have a failed marriage, failed relationship or not. You use the Pushmi, you use the Dhanishta, you use the Purvashadha, you use all these things, right? You cannot leave the D1 first. And then move into the D9.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to be little patient in the first 1-2 years. You need to be little patient to see. The other problem is the embarrassment, right? You cannot go back to the person and ask did he have an affair or not, right? That is another challenge. You have to deal with this. You need to know how to time it well. It comes with time. There's no serious or steady or one line answer for this. It comes with time is what I will say, unless anybody else wants to add here.
So what is the need to know? I'll say over here, since you are already going on the mode of acceptance, if you are agreed to marry, there is no need except the past, move forward.
Okay, that's more a psychological answer. But if the girl needs to know it, that there are ways to know it. You can know. I have given a few hints, right? See, okay, I'll give you. You please go to my planets, right? Did you hear, Shruti? Did you hear the planets? Right, the sun, the moon.
Yeah.
I told about the planets in the Navamsha.
Oh, I think I have not got to that.
Okay, go to the
In the
Navamsha.
Oh, yes, I have, yeah.
Go to the Navamsha. I have talked about the planets. I have talked about the Rashis, right? So you will see that the words like Madanaturaha, that means somebody who is interested in having an affair. Okay, but you have to carefully use these things. You have to see that there is something wrong in the D1 and then apply it in the D9. Okay, the other way around is pick up those horoscopes who have had relationships, at least 10 or 12. Have a look at them. You will be able to master it very easily. There's no rocket science in this.
Sir, I have a horoscope for
I'm not comfortable doing affairs charts. I dislike doing it because the problem with women is lot of women watch my classes, not the male counterparts. Problem with women is they're a lot suspicious about men. Men are actually better people.
No, what I was about to say is like
No, I'm not very comfortable looking at affairs.
uh,
That's my
that
condition.
that's okay, sir. Like
Yeah.
I'm not looking for affairs, but
Hmm.
like I'm like this is a chart of a friend, like trying to find the marriage like date. Like so I was like trying to apply like first marriage and second marriage rules, and like both of them are like giving two different time periods or something like that. But now that like the person either I too can't ask like how many or like I know about one or two, but like I don't know many. So when I have to give the prediction for like when is the possible marriage date, I am like lost.
So
Like
you knew,
when
okay,
I should.
you knew that this person must have had a past. You knew a little, one or two you knew, right?
Yes.
Then just use the second house. That's it.
Okay. Whether it is like more than two or
Yeah, just
I know
use
it's two or three, but like go for two, second house.
just use the second house because officially he is not declared himself as married as yet, right?
Yes, he's not married, but like serious
Yeah,
living sort of
yeah.
relationship.
So still use the second house
Okay.
because
Sir,
the main house for the third. One second, the main house for the affairs is the third house because that is the Maithuna Bhava, right? The end of the affairs is the second house because that falls this 12th from the third house.
Yes, sir. That chart has many planets, cluster of planets in third house.
Yeah.
Like
And if it contains either the Mercury or if it's in the Gemini or in the Virgo, then there is an affair. Very
yes, you're right, sir. There,
simple.
that's a Cancer ascendant chart. Mercury and like Venus, Sun are in
Yeah. Then
third.
there is a affair. Yeah.
Yes. And
Cancer is moon, right?
yes, sir.
Do you know the yoga called as Kemadruma yoga? Did you ever
Yes, sir.
hear what is Kemadruma yoga?
No planet like on either side of moon or like one or two planets on either side. I get confused always with
No
that.
planets either with the moon on or either side of the moon, and no
Mhm.
planet is opposite to the moon.
Yes.
Why is that yoga there? Can somebody tell me why is it there?
there
Because
is no
like
Why?
people need
control.
support, or like they get easily influenced if there is no planet. And if there is a planet, supporting planet or any planet, like it will like it's like a watery planet, so it will not move in many directions if there are planets on it.
That is one thing. The flip side is moon works only in partnerships. Moon cannot live without a partner.
Okay.
Okay. So Navamsha Lagna has Cancer, and if the third house is all filled up, okay, it can lead to because the person feels aloof,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and I need a partner.
Mm-hmm.
But the D1 also has to show up. Otherwise, what he will do is he'll pick up male. I mean, let's suppose this is a male chart. He will pick up male friends and he will go on outing. They will have beer and spend some time on the beach and they'll keep talking about their problems and stuff like that. He needs a person to share his feelings, not just like the sexual activity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yes.
Moon feels aloof. He thinks that there is no one who can support me.
Yes.
That's why the Cancer in the Navamsha is a little tricky when you have many planets. If there is one planet also and the dasha is coming up, you have to be very careful. An affair can just like that start.
Okay. No, that like D1 I meant like D1 it is Cancer and D9 it is Libra.
There
Even
also
like
there also the moon or something will be there.
yeah, like it's moving, so moving Lagna it is. So that's where like another challenge I
No, it
was.
is not about the moving lagna. The moon or the Mars or the Mercury will influence the third house, the lagna, or things like that. Because you need courage to start an affair. It's not easy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you need those planets.
Yes, sir. So one more question, like when people go for out of caste, like like are there any specific combinations for like either marriage or like an affair with like out of like let's say like any other religion?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Let's suppose you're living in a society where socially it is accepted. Let's suppose there is a Brahmin and a Shudra marriage. Okay, just for the sake of saying, I'm saying there are communities which are not which they don't socially accept it. Okay. And there are communities in the same India where, like, you go to Bengal, right? West Bengal, they don't mind much of caste thing, right? So it is socially acceptable for them. Although one guy is a Chatterjee, the other one is a Gupta, right? One is a Brahmin and the other one is a Baniya. They don't have a problem with that, right? Whereas in the places like Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, etc., or in Tamil Nadu, it's not very socially accepted. It's changing a little. So as the society progresses, and if the intercaste marriages are accepted, then you may not see it. Otherwise, what you will see is, I have described this in the Rohini, right? Rohini is the Prajapati, who is the king, and Parvati wanted to marry this man, the Shiva, who lives in the Samshan, or the burial ground, right? So the caste is the problem. So the person is fighting with the mama, fighting with the father-in-law. And also you need to have the Mars influence either on the Sagittarius or on the ninth house, simultaneously responsible for the seventh house, both in D1 and D9. Mars will aspect the ninth house or the Sagittarius, both in the D1 and the D9. While Rohini or Jeshta is being ruled by the seventh. Seventh again.
Kritika also you mentioned.
Kritika is not socially acceptable. Kritika is, subsect kind of a thing. Okay, where the Brahmins are there and there are subsects, or the person gets a lot of courage to do something very different in the marriage. Like, there are Shaivas and Vaishnavites. Both are Brahmins, but a Shaiva marrying to a Brahmin, to a Vaishnavite. It's still a love marriage, but very easily acceptable one in today's thing. In Jeshta and Rohini, what you will see is this man, the Prajapati is there. So here also in the Jeshta also, there also you will see that, okay, everything is fine. Let us suppose there is a same caste, everything is fine. So either the father-in-law, the consent of the father-in-law is not there in the Rohini or the Jeshta. It means that the father-in-law has left the world long back, before the marriage has happened, because that's why there is no consent. The other way is the people eloped and they got married and the father got to know later on, right? Or in other words is, while the marriage was happening, everything is fine. While the tying the knot was happening, the father-in-law was present. Maybe after 15-20 days, some argument came up, and the father-in-law and the son-in-law are not talking to each other. Got it?
Got it.
In that case, Mrugasira, which is Parvati Devi's nakshatra, will it also qualify for such things?
No. Only the Rohini will qualify, because Rohini does not obey elders. Okay. The son-in-law has to obey the father-in-law. This is the fight or the rift that will happen. It will happen only in the Jeshta or in the Rohini because of the ego issue. The son-in-law will say, look, I am the Vishnu Swarupa because I have taken your daughter, and you have to be obliged that I have got your daughter. Typical Indian context, if you talk about, the father-in-law washes the feet of the son-in-law, right? The Kanyadana is taken then, right? So the expectation is that the son-in-law has to be respected. The father-in-law would say, look, I'm elder to you by 20-30 years, you should respect me. And there is an ego clash. If the Mrigashira is there, then there is a different issue. The guy is an alcoholic, that's why there is an advice being given to him and he's not following it. Or the guy doesn't want children, and the father-in-law is advising, look, you guys meet a doctor, and that's why there is a rift. The rift can be possible even at all the 27 nakshatras. But if there is an ego clash, there is an open fight between the father-in-law and the son-in-law, and if everybody knows about it, it is either the Rohini or the Jeshta influencing it.
Otherwise, why not Ardra?
Ardra as well, but Ardra can be toned down by the Parvati. If the Ardra receives some or the other aspect or something, the wife of the Ardra will say, look, don't worry too much. Why are you bothering yourself? Okay, forget it. Then the Ardra will cool down because it's the Parvati who's saying it to the Shiva. I explained this in the Ardra. You have to go back and read.
Okay.
Yeah. If the wife doesn't chip in and if the wife doesn't help the native, then there is a rift.
Sir, I actually had a follow-up question from my first.
Okay.
So my question is, what constitutes as a marriage? Because in my understanding, even if the persons have not gotten married, like legally or even with a ceremony, if they have lived together, then it's considered a marriage.
Yeah.
But if they've just had a relationship but not lived together, then it's not a marriage. That's what my understanding is. Because fourth house needs to be involved, I think, because that's the karma of the seventh.
The consummation of the marriage has to happen. They need to have legally sharing the same bedroom, right? Okay, that's when it's called as a marriage.
I mean, that is still not the same as living together, right? Like
I don't know.
They haven't had
look,
a
I'm
household.
not very comfortable talking about this. I've already explained. Okay, I've explained. You must have got it. If you didn't get it, I can't help. I'm sorry.
Just
Okay,
she can
no
read
worries.
about 8 types of marriages.
And
she can find content.
many people have tried to define what a marriage can be as per the Vedic thing, and everybody has failed. There are videos as well. I mean, even Sanjay Rath sir has also made a video. People were asking the same question, but there is no clear-cut answer on that.
Okay, that's fine. But I have just a follow-up from the previous discussion. So suppose if any father or parent has come and asked a question for for marriage for their child, and then you see Rohini or anything, how can we advise them? Like, you can just say, try to pick someone you don't like.
See, I told you, right? The father-in-law is not there, right? You can pick that such kind of alliance where the father-in-law does not exist.
Okay, that's the least bad way to approach. Yeah,
correct.
Okay.
But if the Navamsha says that, look, there is a rift because of that, and the families are not talking to each other, like the the sun being in the Cancer in the Navamsha, or moon being in the Leo in the Navamsha, or sun moon together, right? These are those combinations where one side of the family will not talk to the other side, right? Even in the Divan as well, if the moon falls and there should be Rohini or the Jeshta overly active, and then you have the moon being in the Leo or the sun being in the Cancer. Okay, so these things, they will show up.
Okay.
Yeah, see, there is no end to this. I mean, if you keep thinking, there's no end to this. Okay, there's no particular all that you can understand as a guideline. What can guide you through? And probably I gave, not probably, for sure I gave each house what does it do with every nakshatra. I would challenge, no one must have given this even in a paid course. I can challenge that very much. All that you need is, you need to be a little patient and look at least 12-15 horoscopes, not just have one horoscope and keep rotating all through. If that is happening, then it doesn't work. Taja. One second.
Sir, I have a doubt.
1 second. Taja has been there. Taja, you can please open up your mic and talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those were really good questions that Shruti did have. I was wondering, if you don't use transits, then how do we go about predicting certain events that may or may not happen?
Okay. See, okay. Do you use transits to predict events?
Yes.
Okay. So if somebody has to get married, you would predict, like, there are 5 different possible times in the transit. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So you use the dashas very well. Use 2 or 3 dashas to support your statement. You don't need.
I'm only using the Vimshruti dash.
I got your point. What I'm trying to say is, if you use the Vedic astrology and use a couple of dashas, One can be Vimshotri, and then the other one can be Kalachakra, and maybe you can use Yogini if we find time. I'll teach that as well, or
Okay.
maybe some other dasha. It's better to use the dashas than the transits because transits are a lot misleading and they don't show up the right time.
Okay, and if we do use the dashas, are we going by D1 or D9?
I explained this timing the marriage using the D9 and the variation dasha. I've explained this in the previous
Yes,
classes.
and I don't have the Jagannath.
You need to buy a simple laptop.
Yes.
At 20,000 rupees, this comes very handy, very
Okay.
simple, more easy to use, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
So may I add something?
Yes.
The transits which don't work generally very well is because they are very general perspective. They are applicable to all. But
Correct.
dashas work well because they are very person oriented, individual oriented. They are very specific. So that's why dashas work well.
Correct. They're specific to the horoscope, so the dashas work much better, and the transits are common for all of the world, and they can be a lot misleading. That's right. Yeah, Taja has another follow-up question, or you're done?
I was just wondering, if someone is going through something at that particular time, and if they are going through like a Mahadasha that
Yeah.
qualifies for them having that issue, then how do we go about seeing what may be causing that issue?
That's why I'm trying to explain. I mean, the classes for that will start probably the next week or the other next week, where we will talk about the nakshatra padas and then using the D9 to understand the fruit of the event, right? What is finally going to come? That is there in the store in the weeks to come. Probably, I think each pada will take an hour or so, and it's like 108 weeks that will take for us from here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So when
Sir, I have a question, sir. Sir, one of my friend, upon suggesting her a remedy regarding some marriage problem, when I checked her horoscope, I find some issues in her marriage. So I asked her to go for a planned marriage first. Later, you go for normal marriage. The question she asked me
What is
is
that
that
planned
how the
marriage
energy
means? What is planned marriage?
Vriksha marriage.
Okay, Vriksha. Okay.
So she asked me how did the energy of a plant or an energy of an animal is equal to the energy of a human being. How does that marriage nullifies this marriage? She asked me that question, which I couldn't answer. Unable to answer it.
Logically speaking, for today's world, they don't understand most of the things. So this is a ritual that is being done by many people since many years. This is prevalent all across India. I'm actually stunned to look at. This comes from the Kurukshetra also. If you know the Mahabharata, the Gandhari was first married off to a ram, killed the ram, and then she was married off to Dhritarashtra, right? So this has been there prevalent for at least 3, 4, 5,000 years now, and they're doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can we see the results with that
Yes,
remedy?
I have seen. That's why I recommend. I usually don't recommend any remedy just like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I have a question, sir. Sir, when we are looking dispositor and cusp, okay, when I'm checking the multiple charts, sometimes dispositor is giving a more result, and sometimes it is cusp is giving a more result.
Right.
The behavior.
Right.
So it is there any like a degrees also play a role in this?
Yes. Degrees also will play a role. That is what we will learn in the coming classes, because most of the times the third pada, whichever is your third pada of the nakshatra, wherever it falls, That is where the maximum result is coming, is what I would say in simple means. That means, let us suppose now you see this one, Chitra third pada, the Lagna is there. So Chitra will give you more result, right? Because it's in the third pada. But there are many a bit buts and ifs for this. Okay, it's not a single line statement. You unlearn everything and jump over this, right? Yes, Teja has a question.
Sir, I'll follow up question, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, see, when I'm checking, right, see, dispositor or cusp, I have seen a more result. Like I have checked around 15 to 20 charts. I didn't see any results from the Lord of that bhava.
Lord of the bhava, it will not come. That's what I'm saying. I'm using only the dispositor and the cusp. I'm not taking the lords at all because they're not working. See, you should
No. Lord, I mean, right, the nakshatra bhava, sorry. The Lagna nakshatra, I'm saying.
Okay, you have to repeat what you meant.
No, what I'm saying is that Lagna nakshatra. See, every house has a dispositor and also a nakshatra, right?
Cusp.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So that when we are checking, right, let's suppose the first in this chart, right, Rahu is in the 5th house.
Yeah.
This Rahu is in the nakshatra of Purvabhadra. So that result I didn't see much actually. Like I could say when I checked for in the Lagna, is there any some planet is there?
You're confusing yourself. That is not how it is judged. If you want to judge the 5th house, look at the 5th house cusp and look at the 5th house dispositor. Now, why are you using Rahu? I don't know. What is the objective of using Rahu?
No. That is an example I'm giving. Actually, in this case, I could say the Lagna. The Lagna is in Chitta Nakshatra, right? Chitta Nakshatra.
Yeah.
Okay. And also this dispositor in this Lord Mars.
This is a Venusian sign. So the Venus is in Gemini. So Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is in Aslesha Nakshatra. So the dispositor is placed in Aslesha. Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I got confused, sir. Here in this, right, the Lagna dispositor is
isn't it? Okay. Where is Lagna?
Lagna in this Tula. Libra.
Right?
Tula, yeah.
Libra.
Yeah.
So who is ruling Libra?
Mars. Sorry, Venus.
Okay. Where is Venus? Venus is in Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So Mercury goes into Aslesha.
Okay.
Yeah. So it will be the combination of the Chitra and the Aslesha.
Okay.
Yeah. Very simple. You will get both the traits, some from the Chitra, some from the Aslesha.
Will Chitra dominate because of third pada?
Probably, yes. And more importantly, depending on, see, what does Chitra contain as a mantra? Look at that. Chitra is Indrasya Chitra Ritam Parastat Satyam Avastat. So where is Satyam or Ritam applicable? Ritam is order. Satyam is the truth. Truth is always spoken, right? So you have the second house connection or something in the Lagna. The second Lord sits in the Lagna and there is Chitra there. It is more active because the person is talking, right? So the Chitra is more active because there is a second Lord sitting there. This is what eventually you will learn. Okay. I do not want to confuse right now, but eventually the more and the more charts you add into it, that is when you will understand. So 7th Lord somehow connected. Okay, there is this 7th house. The cusp is not in Dhanishta, but there is a planet in the 7th house in the Dhanishta, because 7th house shows the yoga for the marriage. Dhanishta connection by any chance can show problems with the marriage. Understand?
Yes.
Okay. So you have to see what the nakshatra actually focuses on, which house. Not all the nakshatras are focused on all the houses. every nakshatra will focus on, maybe, I'm sure multiple houses they will focus on. I'm not denying, but some houses they are very specific on, right? So Pushyami, this is very specific on children, very specific on wife. So if they can get connected to the fifth house or the seventh house, the result or the magnitude is going to be very high from the Pushyami. So these are guidelines. You cannot jump over and say, okay, let me just program it using a database. Let me feed all this data into something. If I press a key, I get all the information out. If you're doing that, it will not work. For sure, it will not work. You have to use the divisional charts in tandem. See, one thing you have to be very happy about is that if you're using houses and lords, right, you will never end up at a prediction at all. You will never end up at any prediction at all in your life. If you're using just the simple nakshatras, only two nakshatras are there. It is either the cusp thing or the dispositor thing. One will dominate more. Very easy, actually. Very, very easy. Do you guys agree? Or is there anybody who says, look, it is
Yes, agreed.
the houses are more easier? Is there anyone who would say that?
No, sir. Houses are not easy. This is easy.
Yeah,
I've
this is
been
easy.
trying.
Houses are problematic.
Houses are 100% problematic. You can never predict use them.
Like if you have a very low degree lagna, what qualities will you end up getting more? Like if it's an Aries lagna, what qualities will you end up getting more with a 1 or 0 degree, let's say?
I will
Pisces
never
quality? Or
use the Pisces quality or the Aries quality. They are not working. To
yes,
me,
that's what
if you
I'm
ask,
saying. They're confusing.
very confusing. They don't work. Even if your Lagna is in the 15th degree of Aries, and if you try to use the Aries qualities, they're not working.
Yes, they are not working.
So I have a question, sir.
Go ahead.
So, like you said, like third pada is more effective any lagna. So in this case, like Libra, like if it is in third pada, 159 houses, they are having like third pada as the cusp also. So
Correct.
does it like
Yes, that is what it means.
all the three become more important?
Yes.
And like now here Chitta, like one will be Mrigasira and the other maybe some other nakshatra and Aquarius.
Yes.
So all three will, there is no priority there then.
Correct. So the person is focused on 159 now. The Dharma Trikona is very, very prominent.
Even the
Okay.
character also, right, sir? Like
The
159.
Dharma Trikona is very prominent.
Okay.
If the third pada happens in the second 2, 6, 10 houses, then the Artha Trikona is more prominent.
Okay.
That is going to dominate the life.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir, namaste.
Yes.
Sir, here Venus and Jupiter are also in Gemini, and Gemini is also a dual sign. And on top of that, it is in the 9th house from the ascendant.
I don't use houses. I don't use the combinations. I don't use planets. Now tell me what your question is.
So, sir, do we have to look into conjunctions as well as their nakshatra influence?
I am not using any of them. My thing is very simple and straightforward. If you want to judge the lagna, you have to be clear what you want to judge. What are you trying to judge? The seventh house you want to judge?
Yeah.
Okay. So use the seventh house cusp and the seventh lord's dispositors nakshatra. That's all. As simple as that.
Okay, sir.
No confusion. Forget the planet. It is Saturn, or it's Venus, it is Jupiter, it is anything. Use this simple rule. For now, let us keep it simple. It's not as simple. Sometimes it may not work because of the conjunction of another planet being in another nakshatra.
Okay.
However, it will still work because you are using the cusp and you're also using the dispositors nakshatra. Both the traits, if you mix, you either use the other planet or not, it will still come. The result will still come.
Okay. And sir, does a planet being in retrograde during the time of birth, is it taken into consideration?
So what does it mean taken into consideration means?
Retrograde planet have got a certain attributes of their own, right?
I did a class. Were you not there last week?
Sir, I was there.
Okay. Did you not hear the retrograde thing? When was this done, Ustad? Maybe 3-4 weeks ago, is it?
Yes,
So
yes.
before
1-2
a
weeks
week,
ago. The link is in the chat group.
There's a
You can
group.
access that.
Please access
And
that.
there is a timestamp also in that.
okay, sure.
There is the video done. Okay. Please refer to it.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Hmm.